When you're ready, we'll begin in a child's pose. So come onto your knees, bring them wider than your hips, nice and wide, bringing the toes together and fold forward into the hammock of your hips. Start to pay attention to the rhythm of your breath, taking deep inhales through the nose, letting the lungs and the belly fill to their fullest capacity with fresh breath. And on your exhale, slowly let that breath release outside of your body. Take your time to intentionally slow down and deepen your breath. With your forehead touching the earth, feel that support rising up to meet you from the earth. That solid stability on your mat as you breathe deeply. And we're going to start to move with your life force, your prana, your breath. So coming into all fours, bringing your hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Start to do a few cat-cows, pulling your heart forward in between your arms as you inhale. And exhaling the heart up and back towards the sky as you curl the spine up like a Halloween cat. And continue to the rhythm of your breath. Inhaling the heart forward, flexion in the spine. And exhaling the heart back. Take your time. When you're ready, come to a neutral spine. Straightening your left leg back behind you, pressing through your heel. And when you're ready, raise that heel to meet the hip. Creating a straight line of energy from the crown of your head back towards your foot and out through your heel. If you'd like to add a little bit more to the core, inhale the right arm up, bicep by the ear. You can stay here or you can go into a few crunches. So exhaling the elbow to the knee and inhaling, lengthening the limbs forward and back, finding that space. Exhale, crunch, and inhale, lengthen. Right? So we're finding that heat, we're finding that stability within the center of your being. When you're ready, release. Bringing that left foot in between the hands for a low lunge. Take your time bringing that ankle up to meet the wrists. And just hang out here in your hip flexor for a moment. Right? You can stay here with your palms on the mat, or you can use your palms on the knee and lift up off to straighten the spine up towards the sky. Right? Feel free to press up off of that knee and aligning the hip with the shoulders and the spine, right? Creating a straight line to get into that quad stretch a bit more. If you want to sink into it, right, releasing the muscles in the inner thigh and the hip, that is also an option. So whatever feels good to you. And then on your next exhale, we'll straighten that left knee, point your left toes towards the ceiling, very important, or towards the sky, right? Engaging the ankle and pressing the toes up as you fold forward. I like to keep my spine straight. Right? It's a little bit more length and strengthening in the core and the lower back, but it's up to you if you want to fold forward. When you're ready, inhale, shift forward, bending the front knee. Maybe this time we raise the arms up towards the sky. Right? A little engagement in the shoulders and the biceps. Reaching the fingers towards the sky. If you want to add a twist, feel free to release your right arm forward and opening up that left shoulder, reaching that left palm behind you for a gentle twist. The spine is nice and straight here to facilitate an opening in the upper chest. And if you would like a quad stretch, bending the right knee, grabbing onto the top of the foot with that left palm. Come on back to center. We'll plant the hands, bring that knee back, and do a few cat-cows just to even out that flow. And the spinal flexion, inhaling the heart forward and exhaling the heart up and back. Right? Find a little bit more space with each cycle of breath, right? It's never the same posture, never the same time, never the same space. We are always evolving. And yoga is a beautiful opportunity to seek out that subtle difference. We'll return back into our tabletop position, lengthening that right leg back and up, pressing through the heel. If you'd like a little more, raising that left arm as well. Finding that strength within the center of your body. If you'd like a little bit more, feel free to exhale the elbow to the knee. Inhale, lengthening forward and back. Exhale, crunch. Find that resistance, find that strength. And then we flow in and out with the breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, release. Come back onto all fours. We'll bring that right knee in and plant that foot in between the hands. Adjust yourself however you need to find a nice low lunge here, sinking into that hip flexor. Right, beautiful stretch. And then when you're ready, we'll rise up. If that's in your practice, right, pressing onto the top of the knee and lengthening that spine up towards the sky. So a lot of muscles here. You can play with, flexion and tension within the muscles of the hip, within the legs, within the core, and figure out what works best for you, right? What feels good. On your next exhale, plant the hands, straighten that front knee, and point your right toes towards the sky. Really flexing that ankle. And it's up to you whether you want to keep the spine straight or fold forward over that leg. What worked on one side may not work on this side, and that's perfectly okay. Find your edge. And then breathe deeply. All right, come on back to center, bending that front knee. We'll rise with the arms lengthening towards the sky. Feel free to stay here. If you'd like to add a twist, it is optional, right? We'll bring that left arm forward towards the front of the room or front of your mat, and we'll open up that right shoulder, right? Bringing that right arm back behind you. Spine is nice and straight to facilitate a healthy and safe twist over towards the right. Now, if you'd like to add a quad stretch, it's always an option, right? Bending that left knee, grabbing onto the left foot with the right palm. And whichever variation you choose to do, enjoy it, right? Take deep breaths within it and hold that vulnerable stability. We'll come on back to center on your inhale, planting the palms. Bring that knee back. Beautiful work. Do a few cat-cows to finish out this flow. Inhaling the heart forward. Exhaling the heart up and back. So we should feel a nice mobility within the spine here in the lower back. Gorgeous. And then when you're ready, curl the toes, press the hips back as we lengthen the legs, and we'll come into a downward facing dog. Gorgeous. So our fingers are nice and spread out onto the mat here, actively pressing through the fingers, not just the palm, right? This will even out the weight distribution within the hands, making it a little bit easier on the wrists, right? Feel free to pedal out your dog if you'd like to as well, right? Pressing into one heel, bending the opposite knee, and then pressing into the other heel, bending the opposite knee. I like to take my time with these just to say hello to the backs of the legs, right? Pick the pace that works best for you. You can even nod your head yes, shake your head no, kind of softening and opening up the muscles in the neck and the shoulder. And ultimately, though engaging, it should feel good, right? When you're ready, look in between your hands and just walk your feet forward in between your hands. We're going to come into a forward fold here. Beautiful. Right, so I like to keep my feet hips width apart here. Whatever works best for you. Gorgeous. Deepening the breath. When you're ready, inhale up halfway, lengthening the spine forward. And release into your forward fold. With your fingertips lengthening towards the earth, we'll begin to bend the knees, right? And we'll come into a nice and deep seated chair, right? Pulling those lower abs in, right? We're engaging our core here to lengthen the tailbone down towards the ground. And on your next inhale, rise up, standing fully, reaching towards the sky. And exhale, hands to the heart. Once you're here, feel free to close your eyes. Take a few breaths and observe how you feel. Come back to the breath. And on your next inhale, raise the arms above the head towards the sky. We'll bend the elbows and open the chest into a cactus arm Tadasana. Right? Inhale, raise the arms once more, grabbing onto the right wrist and reaching out over towards the left. Inhale, rise up, grabbing onto the opposite wrist, reaching out over towards the right. Beautiful. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold forward into your Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, come on up halfway, lengthening the spine. And exhale, release when you're ready. On your next inhale, raising the heels up, come onto your tippy toes. And with those heels up, begin to bend the knees, coming into a low squat. Right, we're stretching out the feet here. Feel free to bring the forehead towards the knees, coming full circle with that spinal flexion. And on your next exhale, we'll come onto our glutes, right? Come onto your butt. Hug those knees in for a gentle sacrum stretch. Gorgeous. On your next inhale, we'll come into a boat pose, just to engage the core a bit. So feel free to lift your heels up towards the knees, creating a straight line of energy, nice angles within the joints. And you can either hold the calves here while you keep the spine straight. Feel free to lift off as well, releasing the calves. You can also keep your toes on the mat. So do what feels good for you. And with that, we'll come into a cross-legged seat to finish out our practice. And for the last time, just observe how you feel in this posture. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a few breaths of gratitude for everything that you have in your life to be grateful for. And with that, I hope the rest of your day or evening is grounding, peaceful, and filled with love. Namaste.